Welcome to School of Miracles. I'm Heather Scavetta, and today I'm going to be talking about the other side. I get lots of questions from people wondering what their loved ones are doing on the other side. And although I've never been to the other side that I can remember, they do give us hints about what they're doing, and sometimes they tell us outright. I imagine it would be difficult to fully explain what happens on the other side to us because of the way that we think. And we don't quite understand concepts of true reality, as in everything happens at the same time, past, present, and future. There is no time. These types of concepts are difficult to absorb, difficult to understand. So they do have a challenge on the other side telling us these things of how it really is. So I'll do my best today to answer this question. What is my loved one doing on the other side? So recently I had a client who lost a loved one, and they saw this person driving their favorite car. And we can take a lot of information from this. When we see messages like this, it is through the person who is receiving the message, their perspective. So how do you feel about it? What does it trigger? Is it in response to something that is happening in your life right now? Or are they trying to tell you something? And so, although there are general interpretations of messages, it's always a personal thing. And that's why in my classes, I don't jump right in and interpret messages for people, because it's not happening to me, it's happening to them. And how do they feel about it? What thought comes to mind when they see something like this? Now, as a general rule, when you see a car, it usually means progression. So if you're in the car, which is images I've seen of me driving my convertible when I had it, they showed me driving down a tunnel. And I could see way down the tunnel there was light. And so in that message, they're telling me I'm progressing towards this, but I'm still not there yet. So this image that I had was many years ago. And this is what they were trying to tell me, that I'm moving forward, and I'm moving forward quickly too, because the car was going at a clip. So there's lots of information in there. And also they're telling me, I know that they know about my car. So if we see an image of our loved one driving their car on the other side, we might think about progression. Maybe they're progressing on the other side. But they're also showing us that they're doing things that they love to do here. So this person loved their car, and they're driving it on the other side. And so we can take a lot of comfort in that, knowing that they're not missing out. I've seen, like so many times, my daughter riding her horse on the other side. Now her horse is still living here, but that doesn't mean the soul of the horse is not also present on the other side. And she has shown me thousands and thousands of times her riding her horse on the other side. So I know that she continues to do things that she loves. This also tells us that they haven't changed. Some people think that when our loved ones go to the other side, they become a different person. No, they're exactly who they are. They still like the things that they like. They may understand things on a broader level or have a fresh perspective, but they are who they are. So we can take from that also that when we pass, we're still who we are. We're just on the other side now. But of course, we can do more things, and more things we can multitask easier as well. So when our loved ones come to us, they're still who they are. So how they present messages or communication with us is reflective on the type of person that they are. Are they fun? Are they jokesters? Are they serious? Are they very creative? Do they like music? All these types of things they use to show us that they still are who they are. And this also helps us recognize who they are when they come. So when my daughter sends me images, they're always cute, beautiful, and so her. Where if I'm getting an image from a spirit guide, it might be different than that, depending on what their energy is. But I know when I receive images from her, how they differ from my spirit guides or other loved ones. She has a unique energy, and the way that she presents her information is unique also. So you can rest assured that your loved ones on the other side are still doing the things that they love. And don't worry that they're missing out in their life. There is a plan for each of us. They are on the other side because that's where they need to be, even though we would wish it is different in many occasions. They are where they need to be in their own spiritual progression. They can also show us many different things that is happening on the other side. And oftentimes these messages are very covert, so they seem hidden, maybe not obvious to us, but if we look a little bit deeper in how they present things to us, we can learn more about the other side. For instance, they use music. If you're not a big music person, that doesn't matter. We all have core music that we grew up with, that we recognize, things like happy birthday, Christmas carols, things like that. So there is music that you recognize that they can use. And when they send us music, it can also be reflective on not only the message that it holds, maybe special lyrics, but also what they enjoyed also. So they may choose music that you mutually like. The other thing that loved ones are doing on the other side is what they did here. Not only their hobbies and things that they liked, but who they are to their core. So if they were very helpful to people here, they're helpful to people on the other side. If they were very quiet here, they're probably quiet on the other side. Because the core of who you are, that's what doesn't change. Your circumstances may change, your environment may change, the people who are around you may change, but who you truly are won't change. So if you know your loved one very well and you know who they really are at their core, you can make assumptions that they are also doing these core activities and expressions of their true self on the other side. So that also helps us understand ourselves, because who are you at your core? Who are you when you lose this physical body and go to the other side? Because that core self does not change. Are you kind? Then you're kind on the other side. Are you judgmental? Then you're judgmental on the other side, until you come to understand differently. It's always your choice how you behave and what you think. But that core energy of who you are really does not change. So you can modify behavior and you can learn to think differently, but the core of yourself is really changeless. So I know when I go to the other side, I'll probably be doing things that I'm doing here. So if I love teaching people here, I'm teaching people on the other side too. And that's a really cool reflection, because oftentimes it's easier to read other people, more difficult to really look at ourselves accurately. But as we progress on the spiritual path, we really learn what our gifts are and what that core nature is. And if you don't know, definitely take some time to go and delve into that. Things like meditation, asking questions, going in and seeing what answers they give you, past life regressions, see what you did in your past lives. And that can give you a clue to what you're doing in this life. What is the same? What core of you hasn't changed? Something else that our loved ones is doing on the other side is observation. So they don't intervene in our life unless it's to bring us comfort and support and encouragement. Our loved ones are not typically the people we go to for guidance in our life, unless they did that here. So perhaps you have a parent on the other side that helped you here and talked about your life and what you're doing and things like that. They may be more inclined to talk about those things, but I typically advise people to go to their spirit guides instead to talk about their spiritual progression instead of their loved ones. So if they are observing from the other side, they're also learning. And I remember one message in particular from one of my students whose father came through, who talked about how it was difficult for him to express love here. And so he's hanging around a person, maybe a friend, maybe a family member here, who is very good at that. And he's learning. So there is progression on the other side from our loved ones, absolutely. But there's so much potential for us here for growth and personal reflection and understanding our reality, because there's so many challenges here. So take advantage of your challenges today and to know that they are propelling you forward, whether through experience, education, and ultimately bringing you wisdom. So thank you for listening today, and God bless.